I believe that everybody has a story, and I'm fascinated to hear them. So come with me as we take a walk down Fascination Street. Welcome back, Streetwalkers. This episode is with street artist and muralist Colton Valentine. A few months ago, when I was leaving my doctor's office, I stopped to get gas, and on the side of the building next to the gas station was a mural of Nipsey Hussle. This was in the weeks immediately following Nipsey's death. I thought the mural was so beautiful and so well done that I looked for the signature and looked that person up on Instagram. That signature was at Colton_Valentine. As it turns out, Colton lives in my town, which I guess sort of makes sense since those murals were in my town. And I reached out to him to see if he would be on my show. It took a few months of scheduling, but it finally happened. So he invited me over to his house, and I interviewed him in his backyard while he was setting up and getting started on a 6-panel canvas painting of Kobe Bryant. This was outside, so there's a little bit of outside noise, but not much. There might be some birds chirping, a little bit of wind, maybe a car going by, but toward the end, you'll hear him get started on that painting. So you'll hear the shaking of a paint can, you'll hear some spraying of some paint, and I highly encourage you to go check him out on Instagram at Colton_Valentine and check out some of his work. The painting that he was doing while I was speaking with him is on his Instagram. Make sure you check that out. Super nice guy, lots of stories to tell, and here it is. My conversation with street artist and muralist Colton Valentine.
Yeah, talk to me.
Welcome to Fascination Street Podcast, Colton Valentine. How you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm good. How about you?
I am fantastic. So this interview, probably 6 months in the making or something like that.
For real, yeah.
I have a doctor that I go see on the other side of town, and it's off of San Pedro.
Uh-huh.
And the last time I went to the doctor, as soon as I left, I stopped to get gas at a gas station, and I saw this badass mural on the side of a building.
Sorry, thank you.
And it was Cardi B, and who else was there?
So, depending on the time,
There's 3 people.
Okay, so that was probably Cardi B, I think 21 Savage, if it was that long ago, too.
Yeah.
And Soulja Boy.
Yep, there you go. All right.
I'm guessing, yeah.
So I saw that, and I was like, this is fucking badass. And I took probably a selfie and put it on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
And then right in the bottom corner, you got your Instagram handle. And so I was like, oh, badass. So then I tagged you, and then we started talking back and forth, and now here we are. And the funny thing about that is that Tuesday I'm going back to that same doctor.
Everything is coming full circle.
Yeah, so it's just a big circle. So we are just outside of San Antonio right now, and I want to talk about, where are you from, dude? Where were you born and raised?
So, I was born in Northern California, actually.
Like Napa, Northern California?
No, like, I'm talking like Northern California, like...
almost Oregon?
Yeah, 2 hours from Oregon.
Oh, all right.
Shasta County.
Oh, yeah, Shasta. Everybody knows Shasta.
Okay, yeah, it's actually...
There's a mountain over there, right? Mount Shasta.
So, Redding is the city that's, like, within Shasta County. But,
Gotcha.
So, I was born in Redding. And then, I guess, when I was 2, my parents split up. And then I had moved down to South Bay, California, a city, Carson.
Carson City? Or it's just called Carson?
It's just called Carson. So to put it in perspective of like where it is, it's right by Long Beach.
Okay.
And Compton, Wilmington, San Pedro, like right where the harbor is, where all the boats from China come in with all of our stuff. That's basically where...
With all of our coronavirus?
Yeah, all that stuff, all that good stuff. So South Bay is not like Los Angeles area, you know?
So how old were you when you moved?
I was like 2 years old. I really don't remember much of it, you know, like all that stuff. But
why did you move, do you know?
Well, yeah, my parents split up. So I have family in LA. That's where like all my family is, from my mother's side and from my father's side too. So we just went down to be with family. And that's where I was like really raised. So from 2 to like 16, I was living in South Bay, just doing my thing, growing up riding a BMX bike.
That's cool. So when did you notice or find out exactly how awesome and artistic you are?
Well, thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. I've seen a lot of your work around town and on Instagram and whatnot.
I've always drawn, like when I was a little kid, I would draw a lot. It's like been a known thing in my family that my father has like a really good talent. He can draw like with a pencil or a pen, whatever. He can make like realistic portraits.
Oh, really?
And I've actually talked about this a few times on like what got me started. But the more I talk about it recently, I'm remembering right now.
New memories open up.
Yeah.
Right?
He used to show me artwork that he would do. He was like in and out of jail and stuff. So like not like crazy hardcore, in and out of jail stuff, but just like it was known. That's why obviously my parents split up. My mother did the right thing. But he would do like portrait art on envelopes and do artwork.
Like when he was in jail?
Yeah, for like food and shit or whatever, for trade.
For commissary.
Yeah, so I remember that now as a kid, and I'd be like, damn, like this fool, like my dad is fucking sick, even though he's in jail and shit, but like the art was like really good.
Kind of like that dude who was in, what was it? What was that name of that movie?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But...
Yeah, what's his name? Cruz, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Bound by Honor.
Yeah.
It has two names, but Bound by Honor is one of them. Yeah, like that dude.
So like, I remember that now, and like, I just always drew when I was a kid. Just knowing that like, all right, if my pops was doing that, like I think I could do something, And then like I had an aunt who like I was babysat by a lot, which was on my father's side of my family. She had some paintings up, and I didn't realize they were like her paintings until I was older, and I was like getting more into just, I don't know, I was just getting a little smarter, and I was like, hey, like, did you paint that, like, and she explained it all and like opened up that whole.
So your whole family on that side is real artistic? Dad and then his sister?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It was a great aunt. I forget how to explain the whole, like...
That's fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But it's direct blood?
Yeah. It's all family. Like, she's, blood.
That's dope. What did you want to be when you grew up? I don't know what you do now for a living.
Man, now I'm a slave. I just have a normal job.
So what did you want to be when you grew up?
Like at first, from when I like really could get a grasp on like any of that kind of stuff when I was like 15, 14, I think I wanted to I always wanted to be a pro BMXer.
Really?
Like I had a lot of friends that were doing a lot of stuff, but like I was just always drawn to riding BMX bikes and stuff.
Competitively?
No, like doing tricks and tail whips and bar spins and stuff. So the whole way that I grew up was like, this is what makes everything come full circle with like music and just everything I do in life. When you ride BMX bikes, you're at the skate park all the time. You're just chilling at the skate park all day, and you get all walks of people, coming by. But yeah, I wanted to just ride BMX. Like that's all I could imagine in my life.
Really?
I was a hardhead. Like I wanted a job at first, and then like
you didn't really want a job. You wanted money.
Yeah, well, because I started selling weed and I always flipped stuff and made money,
sure.
But that's why I was like, dude, I don't need a fucking job like at Jack in the Box like everyone else.
Do they call that a hustle?
Yeah. But so like early on, I was just like, okay. I remember like trying to get a job at like 13 or some shit, just like at the Jack in the Box or whatever. And, my parents were my mom was like, yo, you can't get a job yet, you gotta wait. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I want money now. I didn't start like selling drugs at 13 or nothing like that. But, I just would like ride my BMX bike instead, like, all right, fuck it. And then, I just got good enough where like I explained earlier in another interview, I was going to like a Woodward like training camp, to get way better at BMXing at the age of like 16, 15, and at the time BMX was still young. So like I could have really, like it was very possible. Some people that I know like growing up in BMX are now like doing really big things,
Right.
It's cool how you can actually see that world grow.
Yeah, if you stick with a group of people or whatever long enough, or an interest or something, you can just watch how it grows and how the people move up and go on and do things. It's really cool.
It's kind of
stick with it.
10 years later, I can look back on the BMX scene that I had like walked away from, and there's progression. People are way bigger now, doing good, cool things. It's a trip to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I interviewed a guy named Brad Fanshaw. At one time, he was either the president or the vice president of BMX.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Of BMX what?
Of the the association, like
Oh wow,
whole
nice.
thing. And then he went on to be like the president or vice president or some shit at Vision Streetwear.
Huh. That's dope.
Yeah.
Ooh, I forget about these damn wires.
Me too. I've kicked it 3 times.
All right, I'm trying to make sure I don't need to go back here anymore, and then
Got that middle bottom one. There you go.
so this one doesn't have tape. I can tape it.
Is this your process? Is this how you do? What is this for?
This is just for me. It's gonna be a painting of Kobe.
Now this is
R.I.P. Kobe.
6. This is 6 canvas.
Yeah.
How big are each one of these?
I think
4?
it's 24 by 36
Okay.
each one. So
All right, cool.
overall, it makes a 6 foot by 6 foot
All right, rock on.
presentation or whatever you want to call it.
Right. And you're gonna hang this in your house?
Yeah. Or like I'm gonna display it in an event at South by Southwest.
Oh,
this
no
year.
shit. No wonder
Yeah.
you're in a rush.
Well, it's more like a rush because I have to go to work soon, and then I'm not sure.
Today?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like next week.
Okay, so when you go to work, you're gone for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like you go for days, sometimes weeks at a time or something?
Yes, weeks sometimes.
You don't have to say, but if you want to, what do you do for a living? What's your real job, I guess? to say?
Like the thing it's I love this topic when people ask because I don't believe in being a starving artist like some diehard artists, you know?
Yeah.
And
you're selling out, right?
yeah, I've had that
I want to eat. I want to pay my bills.
I've had that situation with people kind of just looking at me funky, like, oh, like you don't actually do art, like or whatever, you know. But
I think maybe part of that is that when they see your stuff,
they're
it's
like, damn it,
so good.
Yeah.
They're like, how are you not
you're doing both, like
making money, enough money just doing this? That's
Yeah.
probably it. I was wildly surprised when I found out you had another job.
Yeah, damn, really.
Yeah, I thought you
That's
just
humbling.
traveled all over the country doing this.
See, well, and the beauty of social media and all that, like, fake news stuff is I do that on purpose, you know? It's just a way of making me seem bigger than I am.
That's all social media is.
Yeah,
We
so-
present the best picture of ourselves, the most flattering picture
If someone
of
can do
ourselves.
that, like, this is what gets me so hot. We'll get back to that other thing, but like,
Yeah, we'll go back.
chicks will go post their ass and get hella likes and traction and do this fake little lifestyle and all this stuff. And then, you know, some random dude wants to go post some artwork and it doesn't get appreciated.
Right.
Yet there's way more talent and maybe I would even say community involvement with like what I'm doing
Sure,
or something
absolutely.
rather than
Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to get a whole bunch of people involved in some girl's ass.
I get it. I mean, it's life, you know. I'm not gonna like sit here and bash all that stuff, but that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna be a starving artist, you know, and I'm gonna like also take advantage of making Instagram seem like I'm doing, you know.
You gotta put your best. You
Although-
gotta put your best shit out there.
So back to that though, like, all right, now I'm done back here. You know, I'm saying now that I make it seem like I live this life bigger than what I do or whatever, but don't get that twisted with the fact that like I actually do 18-hour days, 20-hour days.
Really?
Sometimes I'll stay awake for 3 days almost
The hell do you do?
between working. Like, so recently, put it this way, like I was doing a night shift. So I guess my job is like retail installations. That's what I do.
Okay.
Specialty retail installations. So it's
Give
like
me an example of that.
right now, damn, this is like my new baby. The company that I work for and with, they have a contract with Walmart to do all the signage that goes around the whole store.
Inside, outside,
Mhm.
both.
Not the outside, because there's not much on the outside besides like the letters that glow on the outside of the building.
Well,
but
that's true.
not to sound like
No,
a
yeah, I got you.
So like the basic gist of what we do is like all the graphic interior stuff that's like, you know, directing you where to go and stuff. We'll do that. It's like finished work for retail installation stuff.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
and like there's so many other things. Vinyl, you know, stuff on windows
Right.
and on big walls. You know, I've done like 30-foot wide vinyl graphic installations by like 10-foot tall.
That's
that kind of
amazing.
thing. Just big, weird, you know.
So that explains why you travel, because you
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to wherever these stores are.
Yeah, so the company I work for, like, it's actually like a friend that I work with now, but we all fly all over, you know.
How long
for
you been
these
doing this?
jobs. My job?
Yeah.
I think it's like 3 years or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I moved to Texas with, she was just my girlfriend then, now my wife, 5 years ago, and I was just doing normal work.
What brought you to Texas?
She had a decent job opportunity, and I had a motorcycle wreck around the same time, and I was just like, dude.
Is that your hand?
Yeah, no, this is another wreck.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
job.
I have a broken ankle. This is from that wreck, the first one. And I was just like, all right, I'm done with LA for now. Let's go.
Were you splitting lanes and somebody clipped you, or what happened?
On this one, I got T-boned from a girl who ran it was a red light, but like it was one of those lights that turned, like it was yellow turning red. So she like sped through this yellow light. Yeah. And when I was going, like I knew it was like a blind spot in the sun, and like it was just a bad day. And
glad you're mostly all right.
Dude, that was a crazy wreck. I launched like over this. Imagine like
really?
So a 10-foot like flipping. I remember flipping 4 times in the air, and I was looking at the sky like, oh. And then I remember halfway through my like flip, I remember hearing this lady scream like someone was dying. She was like, ah, you know, it was just some crazy.
What were
scenario.
you riding?
A Triumph Street Triple 675R.
So you don't remember?
No, that's
very specific.
Yeah, it was a brand new motorcycle that I bought and financed and lost within a month of owning it.
That's crazy. I heard a story, you know, that what is it, Alamo Cycleplex over there on 10?
Mm-hmm.
I heard a story that this dude, he was a lawyer or something, and he wanted a bike like his whole life, and finally he got to a point where he could, you know, he was just going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So he went and bought it. He had his wife and kids. You know, they all went down there so that they could drive the minivan home. Right? He pulled off the lot and got hit by a car.
Oh my gosh! Like I don't get how that could happen.
Pulled off the lot and got cleaned.
Yeah, that's why I'm believing you on that. And like that's insane, man.
That is nuts. I used to ride bikes all the time.
I'm trying to convince my wife to let me get another one, but I've wrecked too many times. All right, I'm gonna get paint. We can roll this.
Yeah,
later.
let's do it.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
Guess what, Streetwalkers? The gear is here. A bunch of you have been asking for quite some time, and now finally it's here. Head over to FascinationStreetPod.com and check out the gear tab. There, you'll find all kinds of FSP items to tickle your fancy. T-shirts, coffee mugs, sticker packs, pins, buttons, coasters, and my personal favorite, for just $5, you can get one of those weird little phone handle pop thingies. So head to FascinationStreetPod.com and show the world that you're proud to be a streetwalker. Special thanks to my good buddy Stephen O'Reilly from the Bar Star Podcast for these dope drum beats. Check out Steve's work at O'Reilly Drums on Instagram or search Stephen O'Reilly on YouTube.
Let's get back into it.
Yeah, my job is retail installation stuff. And I keep that job because
it pays the bills.
It pays the bills, and I get to travel the country and see things that I would not get to see if it wasn't for...
Right. Yeah, my wife had a job where she traveled all over building hospitals, and that afforded me an opportunity to travel all over the place and see a bunch of cool shit, too. So, I love it. So, when did you decide that you were going to do your art for public? Like, you could just be, you know, like your father, just writing or drawing on envelopes and papers and stuff like that. So what made you decide that you were going to, you know, do it in public, paint on the side of buildings and shit like that? Well, what was the first thing you did?
Dude, so, like, now that I have time to talk about this, like, for real, I guess I would draw all the time as a kid, and then it turned into me riding BMX bikes and then meeting friends that did graffiti, tagging your name of choice on a wall, basically, just vandalizing the streets or whatever. And I never got into it like crazy, like other people now that are like super diehard graffiti, you know, people. I definitely put in work and painted letters on freeway walls and stuff like that.
Sure. So
doing that, I was already putting public art up, I guess is the point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As a kid, I was already getting off on like, dude, there's no better feeling than when you go out at night and you put your name up on the walls, you know, or on the freeway. I've actually hung on the green signs that direct traffic. Like I hopped off of a bridge, painted that a few times, put my name on those, you know? So like...
You weren't scared? Wow, you came from BMXing. You
yeah, like it's just a rush. I love all that stuff.
Did you ever get busted for it?
I got busted once. And then
like where they actually caught you?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you ran a lot.
Well, that's the thing, like, and I'm not trying to, like, make excuses because I don't believe in that, but I got caught because I couldn't run. I had torn my ACL from a BMX incident.
Sounds like you're making excuses, man.
Right? No, but yeah, like I was on the freeway and I was like an adult by now and I had a job and stuff, you know, and like a car and all this stuff.
You had shit to lose.
I had responsibilities
Right.
and I got arrested. They dropped the case and everything.
Why?
But,
Because it was your first time?
nah, I think they were cool with me. Like, I was faded one night after work and like it was a weekend and I went out, you know, just, it was a routine. At this point, dang, this is me committing again. So back in the day, I told myself like, all right, I'm going to chill spot in life. I just had a steady job. I was chilling and I'm going to go paint 3 times a week, I think it was, at night. So it's just the same way I dedicated me painting a mural every month. This was
Is that your goal? You paint a mural a month?
Yes, only because I had the opportunity at Graffiti Park or whatever, Castle Hill. It's in Austin. It's a park where you can go like do.
It's in Austin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To be able to go tag your name or what, you know, it's really for artwork practice and stuff with spray paint. There's a whole community of people out there. Shout out to Castle Hill because I came out to Texas with my wife or whatever, you know, doing whatever, nothing important. And then I was like, oh, like I can go paint there and not get in trouble. Like, you know, okay, that's cool. I have a wife now. Like, I'm not trying to deal with all that.
Yeah,
like,
not trying to get arrested.
The thing with that is there's a big stigma. Like, when you're from graffiti, like, you know, it's just like, well, fuck that. Like, you just gotta stick to your roots and like I wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for graffiti.
Right.
Because no one would care about that if
Right.
graffiti didn't start.
That makes sense.
It's a weird balance, and I've dealt with some people like hating on it and all that. But yeah, I would go out there and practice. And I told myself once a month, I'm going to paint something because I can. It's there. And I dedicated like $100-something every month to just drive out there and paint within a 12-hour period. And then
when you
drive
say
back.
$100-something, is that like including the paint and the gas and all that shit? Or?
Gas and beer, you know, everything
Paint.
involved.
How
Yeah,
much paint do you go through? And do you get a discount? Like, is there?
I get a discount.
Do you? Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. Just depends. Like, and lately I've had enough clients and jobs where I have extra stuff and I'm
Left
not
over from
spending
previous
as much
jobs
as
and
I
things.
used. Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
like in Austin, some of the wall was 24 feet tall and 15 or 13 feet wide or something like that. So but I wasn't using like Montana cans or anything. I would go to Home Depot and buy the basic stuff, you know, and
Right.
just make do. But
So this
like
wall
200
was
bucks.
24 feet tall,
mm-hmm.
and this was a commissioned.
Mm-mm,
No, this is the Castle Hill thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
I did it all to learn how to do artwork on a big scale.
Right.
That was my outlet or my area where I could really just go and practice getting artwork that's on a little paper, you know, and then making it large
Right.
scale.
Yeah. Scale. I mean, scaling is what it's
Mhm.
called. Yeah, scaling it to that size.
Yeah.
So, aside from that place where you had the opportunity to go practice and things, like the ones that I've seen around town, which some of them have disappeared off of your Instagram. I don't
Yeah.
know what that's about. But
It's because I'm emotional.
really?
Well, I go through my Instagram from time to time and I'm like, all right, this doesn't fit the aesthetic. Like, that's out of date, you know.
Oh, you're constantly cleaning it, making it current.
Yeah, and if I'm
Okay.
feeling sad one day and emotional and I don't know, and I'm like, one time I almost deleted my whole Instagram. 'cause
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird.
It's like that baby that was on the side of that building off of
Oh, yeah.
the baby like with a crown or something, right?
Yes, that was a child who.
So that's gone. What
No.
happened there? Off of your Instagram, I mean.
It's more of like one of those things where like I get tired of surrounding myself with dead people, and that was like a really hard thing to paint.
So, okay, tell me the story of that. Why did you paint that? And who did
So-
you paint it for?
It was this kid, King Angel. I think his name was King.
That's what it said on the.
Yeah,
wall.
well, I think his name was legitimate, like King. A foundation reached out to me to paint a mural of this kid who, like, it was a tragic death for this kid. I think he was beat by his family that was, like, babysitting him.
Oh shit!
And then he was put in a backpack and
Yeah.
buried under a bridge. And somewhere, like,
Here in San Antonio.
in San Antonio, this happened. And then, like, the news kind of, like, made some national news from it. But this foundation, I'm trying to remember the chick who reached out to me.
Oh, she's not gonna listen, so it's fine.
So they reached out and...
So how does somebody
They-
reach out? Just on Instagram?
Huh?
They're like, hey, and then they DM you and y'all start talking about commissions
Sometimes
and
it's
whatnot?
email. I don't even know how people find. On one of my social media platforms, I have my email on there, so I get emails and I'm like, "Wait, how'd you find me?" They're like, "Duh, it's right here."
That's funny.
But what were we saying right now?
We were talking about how you do murals, and we were talking about King.
And then I
Baby.
take them off my page.
Yeah, and then you take them off.
So like,
Because
dude,
you were saying sometimes you get tired of being surrounded by death.
so what happens?
And when you said that,
I know.
you were standing right in front of this 6x6 Kobe that you're doing.
So like, it's just this crazy thing how I painted one person for me personally, which was Nipsey Hussle.
That one was for you?
Yeah, that had nothing to do with like the community. Obviously, it sounds selfish, but like, I think most artists are selfish. And I'm a better person now, and I realize how much community impact my artwork can do, but it's because of pieces like that, right?
So where is that Nipsey Hussle painting?
It's at, the address to get there is 802 San Pedro Street, or San Pedro Street.
Yeah, we say Pedro here.
Yeah.
We say Blanco, not Blanco.
Oh, man, that's so funny.
So it's on San Pedro.
It's on San Pedro, yeah. But I painted that for me, right? And it turned out that, like, you know, I understand it and I have nothing against it, but like, it's just something I've been dealing with. People reached out to me all the time.
Based on that one?
Can you paint my dead cousin? Can you paint my father?
Oh, really?
Can you do this in my house? I'm telling you, like, there was a time where like I got a couple messages a day or like a week, you know, asking like, can you do this? Can I commission that? And I'm just like, dude, like, what am I going to do? Just paint dead people for the rest of my life? Like,
right.
I got to break away from it.
It's kind of sad that part of the reason anybody even wants to put a mural or a painting is sort of as a memorial. So that part does kind of suck. But you paint people who are not dead, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I try to balance my life a little bit. But like,
so I want to say I saw that Nipsey Hussle one. How far away is it from that one we were talking about earlier with the what's her
Cardi
name?
B?
Yeah.
So it's all right at the
It's right there, right? Okay, yeah. All right. So it was the Nipsey Hussle one that I freaked out on.
Okay, yeah.
I hate Cardi B, so
it
wasn't that. But it was the Nipsey Hussle one, and I freaked the hell out. Yeah. Because that was really, really soon after he passed.
It was like, I was at work in Dallas, and then I came, like, it all happened, and I was hella sad, and then I was like, I guess I have to paint him, you know? Like, it was all around the same time that I was pushing my skill to do realistic style stuff.
It looks fucking amazing.
And then like, I'm just like, well, like, you know, I was just listening to Nipsey a lot at the time, and then it just made sense to like push myself and be transparent and put that up there on the wall and like give it a shot. And like, if it was then, if I didn't do it then, like, when am I going to do
So that was
something?
your first real big
Besides
public...
Cardi B. Cardi B was the first one that like, I was like, all right, I'm going to do shading and like make her cheekbones look real and all that, you know, like everything for the most part. I'm still working on like eyelashes and like there's a lot of work I can still do all the time, you know, but Nipsey was another one. And then after that, like, I painted Wiz Khalifa with smoke coming out of his mouth, and I love that one. I hated painting over it.
I've seen that on your Instagram.
That one was so good.
Did you say you painted over it?
Yeah, I painted the baby over it because the beauty of what I've done, man, this isn't even on some bragging or nothing. Just really thankful that I was able to make something out of painting artwork. But Mala Luna Festival like reached out to me to paint the baby or whoever I wanted that was in the lineup of their event. You know, they're like, hey, can we use your wall? Can you paint someone on the wall? So that at that point, that's when I realized like, all right, I'm literally like a marketing tool that has value.
Right.
Not that I'm a tool, but
I got you.
That's a really cool thing from just posting artwork on my Instagram years ago or whatever, a couple years ago. And now a little festival, you know, reached out to me to paint something like.
So how do you find these walls? Like that wall that has Nipsey on it. How did you not get arrested for painting that wall?
Well, so that one I got lucky with a client / another of my friends. We've been through some stuff. They reached out to me to paint a mural for the front of their bar, like on San Pedro Street, like on the actual street. And then Charles was just like, yo, after that, you can do whatever you want on the other wall that we have. which happens to be the one where I've done Cardi B and all that stuff. You know, it's right by a gas station. It faces a gas station.
Yeah, that's how I saw it. I was getting gas.
Yeah, so...
I think it's an Exxon or some shit.
The location is amazing, and it's so weird, man. Like, I was just going to Austin every month painting one thing, right? And then that shut down.
Oh, did it?
And at the same time, these people hit me up like, hey, can you paint a mural for us? And then I did that, which was just Looney Tunes characters. Like,
I saw that on your Instagram.
Like 16 feet.
16 feet?
The wall was like 16 or 18
Is that here in
feet
town?
tall. Yeah, but it's covered already.
Nice.
Like a new owner came and covered it.
How much does that hurt when that happens? Like, how long did it take you to do that Looney Tunes?
I think I'm like trained for this. Well,
now you expect it?
Just coming up in graffiti.
I got my picture. We're good.
Well, that and like, it's just like growing up, tagging and doing stuff. The city comes every week and paints over your shit. Or like, you go do something one night and someone else goes over you bigger and better. So I've always done that. And even drawing as a kid, like I would do like certain drawings and make them look really nice and then just trash it. My mom would get pissed. She'd be like, why are you doing this? All these things are really cool. But yeah, so honestly, it didn't really bother me to see that. Anything could be gone tomorrow and I'll be good.
That's crazy.
I try to set my life up like that. That's why I'm not a starving artist too. I'm going to get this paint. I didn't grab it all.
Sure. So all these paint cans in here don't have a nozzle on them. Why?
Damn, they don't? I got to go get some. It's because I usually switch them out to different ones that are...
Oh, nozzles do different shit. They had different spray pads.
Yeah, like I got some skinny tips, which they should be over here.
So when somebody does reach out and say, hey, I want you to come, whatever. Not the baby, because that one's...
Yeah.
That's hard.
Dude, that was just a blessing.
But I mean, like I know that you get paid to do it. Thank goodness.
I don't get paid as much as you might think. Well, I actually have only had a few gigs.
At a certain point, that's kind of on you.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like,
I choose what I want to do.
Sure. But you should also choose your price. So
that's
I
why,
have a business. Yeah. I have a window washing business. And the way I price my shit is, well, I don't enjoy it as much as you enjoy doing the art.
Yeah.
But when I do it, the way I price it is I figure out how many hours it's going to take me to do that job and then how much money it would take for me not to be angry the whole time I was there.
For sure.
Because when I first started doing it,
100% with you.
I would bid low because I wanted the job, but then I'm pissed off the whole time I'm there. And that's not how I want it. That's not the reason I started my own business. So you need to get to a point where when somebody reaches out and says how much to do this, and
I have that.
You need to jack that number up.
Oh, it's
what
there.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
Hey guys, if you like what I'm doing, click the Amazon banner at the top of the homepage on FascinationStreetPod.com and do all of your shopping through Amazon. Once you click on it and it takes you to Amazon, you can bookmark it or add it to your favorites and you won't have to go to my site each time. It helps me keep the show going, and again, thanks for listening.
Hey, are you interested in getting from A to B while sitting? At Detroit Bikes, we've got a new product that I think you're going to love. It's a bicycle. It's got 2 wheels, hence the bi. And the sickle is because it's a cycle that your wheels go in. So this is a product where you've got a seat. You are actually sitting while moving.
Wow.
And it's as easy as just pedaling, pushing with your legs. So we think that customers are going to love this product, and we hope you'll check it out at www.detroitbikes.com.
www.detroitbikes.com.
Let's get back into it.
I'm working with Six Flags right now on some stuff behind the scenes. I'm also working
Wait a minute, don't they own Looney Tunes?
Yeah, but technically Six Flags Fiesta doesn't have anything to do with that, and there's
with the rest of the Six Flags?
Well, with the Looney Tunes. Like, I can't do Looney Tunes legally with them unless we get approval from, like, Six Flags headquarters, because Fiesta's different. Okay. Every location has different rights. It's weird.
They're all franchises?
In a way, yeah.
Nuts.
But I have my price and my numbers all set up to where when someone calls me, I just need to get some measurements and then give them a number, and I have 3 different ranges of like what.
And so you know, based on the measurements, how long something is going to take you?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I can look at something and be like, all right, that's going to take me this amount of days, you know.
How long did that Nipsey Hussle one take? How many hours?
Hours would be like, 12 or 36 or like 40, something like that.
Okay.
45 hours.
And so you spread that over time?
3 days, 3 long days, or 4 almost. Like then the 4th day I came back and like did a little bit and then just partied and got fucked up with everybody. Yeah, it was crazy because like a whole bunch of people came out and were having a good time. Cops were there and just it was a good.
They were there just to be
chill
in the community
and like
hang out.
and they didn't do nothing bad. Like everything was like it was a good night, you know.
Good, that's awesome. How long is this Kobe gonna take you? This 6x6 Kobe.
It's gonna take me like hours, maybe same time, you know, like 30 hours or something. But with just like life and traveling for work and everything,
Sure.
Probably won't be done for like a couple of weeks or a month.
Yeah, that makes
Well,
sense.
whenever South by is, I got to be done by then.
Yeah, so you'll finish it a couple of days before that.
Probably. Well, like I don't know. I really do want to get this done because like it's gonna be amazing, dude. Like I'm gonna put some more details and like try some new stuff, push my skill, you know.
Of course. I mean,
That's like the main.
If you're not striving.
Yeah. That's what I have fun doing. Is, you know, just like getting new stuff down. But
What's your goal? What do you want to do with this art?
okay,
with
dude.
this skill?
So yeah, like that's the thing. I'm really not that talented of an artist.
You
like,
say that.
No, like, man, there's some sick artists that with graffiti cans that do stuff like me and better, and they're well rounded, like I guess concept wise, you know. So I'm just trying to get to that point. I don't have time to really sit and like doodle and draw because I guess that's the thing with not being a starving artist.
Yeah.
You know,
You got time on planes and shit.
yeah, but then I try and I just pass out.
You're so fucking tired, right?
Yeah. Dude, that was what I was going to say. With my job, I literally was working night shifts and then I finished working at like 8 a.m. or no, 12. And the next after, so I woke up at 5 p.m., went to work all night, finished with paperwork and everything and finalization and stuff by 12 the next day. And then drove like, 4 hours, 5 hours home. And then hung out with my wife and like stayed up and like, I was dead tired, but I was up for like 30 hours or something,
Right.
And then so I went to sleep that day, slept 5 hours, woke up the next day and then started painting and finishing something. So like, I really got a lot of hustle. I'm relentless on my hustle and I wake up and freaking like do some weights now that my broken hands are healed and getting better, like, and then I run 3 miles and then get to painting and like, I don't stop hustling.
Sure. Where can people reach out and find you on social media?
So I'm trying to keep up on everything, but like primarily I'm on Instagram, which is Colton_Valentine.
Is that your real name?
Yeah. It's my Valentine is my middle name.
Gotcha. Cool. So Colton_Valentine on Instagram.
And then, yeah, just Colton Valentine or whatever on Facebook. I forget what my Twitter is.
Probably you could just search Colton Valentine and it'll come up.
And then I have a
It'll all be
TikTok.
in the show notes anyway, so everybody scroll down and check out those links.
I bet no one that's gonna listen to this has a TikTok, but go and make a TikTok and then add Colton Valentine on there. Because no, like TikTok is the new like thing, I don't know. Energy is shifting from Instagram. I'm telling you. Right now, you heard it first, right here now.
Well, before we wind this up, is there anything I didn't ask you or we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about?
Man, no, you got a lot of questions. I'm sure I got so much to get off my chest, man, but we could probably save that for another episode. I don't know, like, for now I'm good.
Get off your chest in what fashion? Like, what do you mean?
I got a lot of stories, man. I got some crazy,
rock on. You definitely should do a podcast.
Yeah, like,
and that you can fucking tell stories into your phone anywhere.
like one time, a gypsy told me, like, you know,
gypsy
to leave this house that I was living at, and then just like it was some weird vibes, and I was living in a trap house, and a gypsy came up and was just like, "Yo, like, you're a good person, and you gotta leave this house." And then I left, and like.
Oh, so it wasn't like they intimidated you to leave. They were hey, you're too good for this. Like, you're special. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And then, like, a week later, that whole house got raided and everyone went to prison.
For real?
Yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, thank you for that gypsy.
That is nuts.
All I mean by that is, like, you know, any day of the week you can ask me a question. I don't know, you know.
That is crazy.
It'll be
you should
interesting.
Definitely do that, man. Valentine's stories. Every day is Valentine's Day with this dude.
Yeah, it's...
All right, well, we're gonna wind this up. Thank you again so much, dude. I super appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was blown the fuck away when I saw that Nipsey Hussle outside that building. I had fairly recently gotten back from a trip to LA, and I went to LA for a thing that was on 420, and that was right around when they were having the thing for him, the memorial or whatever.
So you got to see the real energy.
Well, I didn't go to that.
Oh, well, I mean, just I'm sure LA. I bet you drove around here in Nipsey.
Yeah, well, I did. And it was funny because I was sitting in the San Antonio airport, you know, getting ready to get on my plane, and there was this dude sitting next to me, and I ended up sparking up a conversation with that dude, and I interviewed him. His name is 850 Keezy. He's a hip hop producer here in San Antonio. And
sounds familiar.
Coming off the plane was somebody. I don't know.
Yeah. No, look, I think.
But he's a little dude. Anyway, so I went and handed my card to that dude, tried to get an interview. That didn't happen, which is fine.
It wasn't Trippie Redd.
It was Trippie. There you go. Yeah, it was Trippie Redd. I don't know why I said Lil.
Dude, okay.
It was Trippie Redd. He was coming in because he played that night.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Oh, cool. So it was right around there. It was not too long after I got back from all that I saw that Nipsey Hussle. And I had never heard of Nipsey Hussle. I'm just a white kid who grew up in San Antonio. I had never heard of Nipsey Hussle.
For sure, yeah.
So having spoken with that hip-hop producer dude and being in LA, and it was all over the radio, and it was all over everywhere.
You're like, what?
I was like, what the fuck is this dude? And then, you know, it was just a couple of months later maybe that I saw your mural of him.
That's cool.
And that blew me away. And then I thought, honestly, that you had flown in from where you live in LA, did this Nipsey on the side of a building in San Antonio, and then went back home. I had no clue you lived in San Antonio. It freaked me out.
That's insane, though. I just trip out on how the world can perceive something.
And I saw that baby, King. I saw that on your Instagram. And I was like, oh, cool, crazy. He just does this shit all over America. And then I was driving down the highway, and I looked to the left, and I saw the side of a building, and I almost wrecked. I was like, holy shit. That's when I was finally like, where do you live, dude? And you're like, oh, I live here. And like, that makes more sense. But it freaked me out. So tell me about meeting Trippie Redd.
Oh, dude. So this is why I have a GoPro, and I try to film my life a lot more, because like the Malaluna Festival, like they gave me tickets to go after I painted, you know, the baby, right? So that was the package. They're like, yo, if you paint,
that was part of your payment?
Yeah, we'll give you. And then I was like, well, let me get us some VIP, like the best VIP shit you guys have.
Yeah, you're like, well, I want some good tickets.
Because, like, again, dude, I don't want to do none of this stuff for the wrong price. And that's why I don't even do a lot of stuff, and I just go work because of that. But I was in the VIP section just chilling, and then like Trippie Redd was hopping off of the stage at Malaluna Festival and like ran out in the crowd and then hopped over the fence into the VIP section. It wasn't like I met him, like we got to hang out. But at the concert, I had also taken a little bit of LSD, so I was just wilding out, enjoying the vibes and everything. And he rolls up by me, and then I was like, Trippie Redd. And then like I put my hand out to give him daps, and then he had the mic in his right hand, so you could tell he was like, shit, like I gotta move the mic over here and like give this man, you know. But like, and I could tell he wasn't going to at first, you know. And I was like
I'm not letting
I
go
held
of
the
this mic,
I held the ball. I was like, don't leave me hanging. So he was like, all right. And then he like gave me a little hug and then kept performing.
He's a little dude. That guy's tiny.
Yeah.
He's real small.
So
cool.
Isn't that a trip though? Like his music's so big and he's so small.
It is.
I feel the same way with my Instagram. Like you think I'm flying around and to be doing artwork, and like I'm literally just, you know, a working person that like has a little bit of extra hustle. every
That's
day.
what social media is.
It's
man.
crazy, yeah.
That is nuts. Well, thank you. I'm gonna let you finish this and let you get on with your day, dude. Again, thank you so much, and I will
Yeah,
let
no
you know when
problem.
this thing comes out, man.
Yeah, for sure. It was fun.
That was dope. As always, thanks for listening, Streetwalkers. And don't forget, follow the show on Twitter at FascinationSTPD, on Instagram at Fascination Street Pod. Follow the podcast page on Facebook at Fascination Street Podcast. And of course, you can always email me at fascinationstreetpod@gmail.com. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and rate us on iTunes. Opening music is the song Magnolia from the 2014 album Intransigence, used with permission from Douglas Miles Clark. Closing music is Apollo from the 2001 album Into the Known by the band Sapphire. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to know a little bit about our guest. We'll see you next time on Fascination Street.